some of you have said that stuff is coming up for you based on the information I'm sharing with you, which I say that's good. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear, and I'm not here to agree with what you already know. That would be the apathy training. Okay. I'm here to empower you. So obviously there's going to be some information that comes up that maybe contradict some precious beliefs. Before we break, is it okay if you're on video when we talk, or no?
Sure.
Okay, but in terms of what you would want to share, it would be about your uncles. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
All right. If you want to come, just stand with me.
Sure.
Just secure closer to the microphone. So,
taller than me?
well, no, this is fine. This is fine. Okay.
You want to be taller.
So just before we went on the break, Rebecca had noticed something about people in her family with regard to blood health. So, please.
Yeah. So the lack of intimacy as being the vitality, whether indicator or whatever. I had two uncles, one that died of lymphoma and one that died of leukemia. Both were in exceedingly miserable marriages. And, you know, at the time, obviously I didn't know anything about this, but they would come into the room and you would just know that these men just needed that, like, human connection, not sexual intimacy or anything like that, but like that human connection. They were not getting it. You could feel it. But you could, in the one uncle, he died more recently. He always had this red, he definitely had this presence in his face, very red. I mean, it was no doubt about it. And this was before he was diagnosed with leukemia. The other one, he died when I was younger, so I don't really remember what he looked like in terms of indicators, but yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of sad now to be able to see the indicator and then no, there's really not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
So John, are you suggesting
Yeah, I suppose.
that the indicator would go away potentially if that intimacy issue were corrected?
Yeah.
Or is that a indicator that they're sort of born with
That's what I was asking.
that is going to maybe even like create a situation like that?
Well, okay. So I would say that the indicator would go away if the direction and quality of that intimacy was restorative to the blood and the blood returned to normal. If people were to say or conclude that their intimacy is going to be found in not fulfilling ways. I mean, I remember I working with someone once, and this is not necessarily related to blood, but I said, you know, you need to take a look at your self-acceptance and your self-appreciation. And if this is somebody with cancer. So then they're like, I went out and bought myself a new car, and I still have cancer. I'm like, well, that's not really what I had in mind when I'm talking about moving into self-appreciation. So you got to take a, They, to them, it was like buying themselves a gift. Okay, I've done my job. Now where's my remission?
And people don't know how. I don't know.
Well, there is that, but I'm just saying, but in that example, what you're saying in terms of if people got intimacy, would the indicator go away? I would say as long as it was in conjunction with the blood health also returning.
And do you think that that indicator was there before the poor relationship?
There's no way. It would depend to if they came out of a relationship with no intimacy and then just moved right into another relationship with no intimacy. I mean, a lot of times, any therapists here, you know, people just kind of go from relationship to relationship. The names change, but the arguments are always the same. The issues are always the same.
I did that. Yeah.
So it would also depend what their
So much that person was predisposed to just, you know, feel that lack of intimacy in their lives. I mean, maybe they were even in what might look like to be a healthy relationship and still have that lack of.
Yeah, I mean, I know people that are married or in partnership and they're in a desert, and they might you know give the appearance of perhaps a perfunctory marriage, but not a true partnership.